short amount of time. Mid to high 90s fastball with a lot of movement. His breaking pitches need some refining, but if he takes that next step and starts to get that breaking stuff over, look out, this guy could get better really fast.
Stepping in, Kenny Lofton. He will lead this one off today. And now he'll try to bunt his way on to start the game. Throw too late, and he's on with an infield single to open up the ball game.
Talk about being caught off guard. You won't see that but once a year. First pitch of the game, and he bunts for a knock, and now they have to deal with him on the base paths.
And the next batter will be Mike Freeman as he'll take a look at ball one. The 1-0 home is a changeup that drops below the knees for a ball.
He's gone back-to-back with off-speed stuff to start this AB, and neither has found the zone. He's trying to pitch him backwards, but that only works if you can get them for strikes. Now he'll probably have to challenge him.
This is on the ground over to first. One there. The relay back to the pitcher, covering in time to double him up. Now a moment here for the Indians starting lineup. Who's the one to watch, Dan?
Well, as usual, opposing pitchers have to be very careful when dealing with Carlos Gonzalez. He doesn't let the pressure of the big moment get to him. I love watching this guy hit in clutch situations. It's like he takes a deep breath and everything stops in front of him. He plays like the Zen man.
Digging in now, Larry Doby. No one on base for him after the double play.
Yeah, Matt, that 2-ball really changed the complexion of this inning. It looked like the middle of the order was going to have a chance to get a big hit with some ducks on the pond, but now they just have to try and get a 2-out rally started.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. A ball and no strikes.
Here's a perfect situation. 2 outs, bases empty, power hitter at the plate. He ain't looking for a single and hoping to pass the baton. This guy's looking to do damage.
And he looks at a changeup in there, 1-1. And there are the umpires assigned to this one. Balls and strikes belong to Mr. Jerry Hillsdale.
You know, D-Row, I think Jerry Hillsdale is a very good hitter's umpire. Doesn't give much on the edges. He's going to make you put the ball over the plate.
Oh, I love me some Jerry Hillsdale. You have to come over those 17 inches. He ain't giving you anything on the outside corner, and that's the way it should be. If I'm on the mound right now, I know I'm in the hitter's head. He was definitely sitting soft. I might speed him up and elevate it right here.
And another foul ball. 2 out, nobody on. Count still at 1-2. The 1-2. Misses, ball 2.
These are the great matchups that happen throughout the course of a game. I don't think as a pitcher you can give in right here. He's a great hitter at the plate. He knows it. You know it. Keep executing. Maybe get him to roll something over.
Here now the 2-2. Doesn't get the zone. Count full now.
I got to commend him for being a really tough out right now. Not everyone will battle like this with 2 outs and nobody on.
Now the 3-2 pitch. And he looks at one that misses, and that's an excellent job of making his man throw a lot of pitches as he toughs out a walk.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving one up where he can really hurt you.
So digging in now, Jose Ramirez. He takes his first cuts in this one with a man at first and 2 away. First pitch of the at-bat. Runners going. Pitch is high. The throw is not in time as he just gets in ahead of the throw. So he swipes second successfully, but you have to wonder now if that might actually end up taking the bat out of the hands of one of their better hitters.
Well, that's a good point, Matt, but I'd be a little surprised if that's the case. It's still early and the game is tied, so that would be a pretty cautious move to pitch around him here or just walk him flat out.
Doby stands at second with 2 gone. And he couldn't pull that one back as he clearly broke the plane to the plate, and that'll be ruled a strike. And a slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball. The 2-2. This is in the air out to straightaway center. Griffey waits on it. And the inning is over. Indians leave 1. Now it'll be the Reds' turn. No score. Bob Feller, the right-hander from the state of Iowa, gets the starting assignment. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, we're getting a look at a real competitive pitcher here. Career ERA in the low 3s, and that's not an easy thing to do in the day and age of small ballparks and guys swinging for the fences. Rock solid pitcher, does a lot of things well, and it'll be fun to watch him work in this one here today.
Now in the box, Barry Larkin. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. First pitch of the at-bat on its way.
That's a ball.
Fastball too high to start him out here 1-0. One and one to the Reds leadoff man.
One ball, one strike.
That pitch is in triple digits. I think he had to take that one because I'm not even sure he saw it.
Now the 1-1 pitch is a fastball that misses.
So that's 2 pitches in a row above the belt. As a hitter, that's what you're looking for, especially when it's a day game and the ball is carrying. That just wasn't a good enough pitch to hit.
3 balls and a strike to the shortstop of the Reds. Two pitch. Hit in the air down the left field line. And that will end up a foul ball. Swing and a miss at 1 in the dirt. He'll throw down to first, 1 away. Time now for a look at the hometown Reds starting lineup card in this one. Danny, any thoughts?
Yeah, Matty, you've got to keep an eye on Yasiel Puig. He's an imposing figure with a bat in his hands. Always seems to turn in a good at-bat, and he can do a lot of damage when he barrels up the ball.
In now for the Reds, Jesse Winker, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike. 1 out, nobody on. And a pitch in the dirt as he lays off. It's 1-1. Well, they'll run this one in on him, and he can't connect, so he finds himself down 1-2 now.
Oh, man, he just tied him up in knots right there.
That's popped up. Kipnis onto the grass. He gets there, and that's the second out.
Batting third, the second baseman, Joe. Morgan.
So bases are empty here with 2 gone. And here comes an important cog in the big red machine, Joe Morgan. First pitch on its way. There's a good fastball on the outside corner as he'll take a look at strike 1. Hit on the ground out to short. Backhanded. And a close play at the bag, but a good stretch by the first baseman got the out, and the inning is over. Reds are down in order. We are still scoreless. Now to the plate, Carlos Gonzalez. For his career in this matchup, he's hitless in 3 at-bats.
Carlos.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. High and deep to left center field. Winker going back at the track, but he can't get it as it's off the wall. And now this is thrown wildly, just getting it into the infield. And he'll pull into second here with nobody out.
One pitch, one swing of the bat, and they've got a man in scoring position just like that. On the mound, he's probably happy it stayed in the yard. He jumped all over the first thing he saw and almost got to round the bases.
So now Carlos Santana, as he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball 1. Well, fans of good pitching are in for a treat today. What can we expect from today's matchup, guys?
I know everyone loves the long ball, Matty, but this is why I pay the price of a ticket right here. 2 of the game's best, 2 of the hardest throwers competing at the top of their game. Dan, you have to love this stuff.
You know, D-Row, we thought coming into this one it was going to be a low-scoring affair. Both of these pitchers look like they're locked in early, and runs are going to be really difficult to come by. They both look like they're on point so far.
2-1 to the Indians' first baseman. Set to deliver on 2-1. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
There's a called strike on a changeup, not a particularly good one. That changeup up in the zone like this oftentimes gets hit very hard. Was able to get away with it that time, but if he's going to be successful, he's going to need to get that changeup down in the zone around the knees.
Gonzalez stands at second with no outs. Hit hard, but it drops foul down there in the home bullpen area.
Hey, I'm biased to the hitter right now. Keep frustrating that pitcher. Foul 12 of these things off. He's going to miss over the heart of the plate at some point.
And now a slider in on the hands, and he's lucky that one didn't come and get him.
Well, what do you do when guys keep fouling pitches off like this? I guess you could back them off the plate by throwing one inside.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Clears this one over toward first, but no problem at first, and that's the first out.
Okay, here's how the Reds are lining up in this one. And let's take a look at third baseman Eugenio Suarez, one of the more underrated players in our sport. Big time power from the right side, ability to crush a hanging breaking ball. Also soft hands at the hot corner. Very reactionary down there, and a strong arm.
So coming to the plate, Jason Kipnis. He'll get to take his first cuts here. first pitch of the at-bat on its way, and it's fouled away. No score here as we play inning number 2. And here's a swing and a miss as he falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, Matty, not only is this guy using all 4 quadrants, he's elevating, getting their eye level up with a quality fastball.
The 0-2 home. Fastball just misses. That's ball 1.
Those were 2 great executed pitches right there away from this batter. He can hurt you in a heartbeat. I don't think anything's going to leak out over the heart of the plate.
Swing and a miss on the fastball that time. Out number 2. Got him with a good high fastball there. Danny, we see a lot of that pitch in strikeout situations these days. What makes it so effective?
I think, Matt, what makes it such a tough pitch is you're changing eye levels. That fastball up looks so enticing to hit that you see that ball as a hitter, you think you can drive it, but it's really hard to get on top of that good high hard fastball.
Maybe a little jumpy there as he swings through the fastball. Opportunity for him here to pick up that runner from second with 2 away. Comes set, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and he's in trouble now. 0-2.
Hey, down 0-2, he better be leery of this guy's nasty changeup. He has the ability to bury it down and away or down and in wherever he wants to. So you got to be on point with this one.
In the dirt here. And he's going to make it up to third here as he advances on the wild pitch.
That can be a tough read as a runner on second to see if the ball has gotten away enough to move to third. You have to be sure you can make it. He was there, and now he's only 90 feet away.
From the stretch, the 1-2. And a good fastball swung on and missed for strike 3, and the inning is over. Back-to-back strikeouts keep him out of danger. Through an inning and a half, no score on the show. So stepping in, Ken Griffey Jr. He'll start things out here in a tie ball game.
The center fielder, Ken Griffey Jr.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. And that's taken for strike 1. Tried to pull that one back, but he couldn't do it, and it's 0-2 now. Now here's the pitch. And he couldn't get him to chase the 0-2 fastball. It's 1-2. In the dirt, but swung on and missed. Plawecki goes to get it, but it's not in time, and he'll reach first despite going down on strikes. So not the start to the inning he was looking for as he got the strikeout, but the runner reaches anyway. So striding in, Tony Perez. From the belt, kicks and deals. Good deception on the slider there as he's way out in front. Now a throw over to first. Runner back safely. Now a swing and a miss at a slider for a strike.
So back-to-back sliders for strikes. Does he come back with yet another?
There's another slider. That's back-to-back good sliders, and this guy's breaking ball is really good. And when he's throwing it well like he is, and he's confident with it, he can throw it 3 or 4 times in a row. A really good slider in this one.
And this one gets away. And forget about the double play now as he'll move up to second here on the wild pitch.
That was definitely a 2-strike curveball there. The catcher turns his glove over and tries to make himself big to block it, but with no luck. The ball skips away, and it scored a wild pitch.
No one out with a runner at second. And a good bite to that slider as he swings through it for the first out of the inning.
Time for a look at the Cleveland Indians defensive setup today. And let's take a look at first baseman Carlos Santana. Originally came up from the minors as a catcher. Also has dabbled at DH. But don't get it twisted. This guy can handle first base as well with soft hands and big time power at the plate.
Striding into the box, Johnny Bench. He'll attempt to put the ball in play for a change here with the first 2 guys going down on strikes to start the inning. Here comes the first pitch.
1-0.
Fastball well outside. Griffey Jr., the runner at second with 1 away. And this one's too far inside, ball 2.
That was a non-competitive pitch right there, and he finds himself behind 2-0 in this situation. He's going to have to locate something down the zone, get himself back in this count.
2-0 pitch on the way. Clearly off with his timing on that one, a swinging strike.
He came out of his shoes on that one, boys. I know he swung and missed it. We felt the breeze from up here, but if he gets that pitch again and catches it a grain low, we got action.
There's a breaking ball that he didn't quite get on top of. On deck, the man they've all come to see, Yasiel Puig, waiting next. The 3-1. He was swung on and missed. A full count now. Now the payoff pitch home. Gets him swinging. He struck him out.
I think he had his mind made up. He was swinging the bat and trying to protect before the ball even left the pitcher's hand. That pitch wasn't even close. He would have needed a flagpole to hit that one.
In now is Yasiel Puig. As with 2 away, he'll swing and miss at the first pitch. It's 0-1. Bottom of the second here with no score. A 1-1 count to Puig. The set and the 1-1.
I got 2-1 the count.
No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Ready with the 2-1. And he hits the corner with that one. 2-2. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Popped him up. And Santana will put the squeeze on this one, and the inning is over. 1 left for Cincinnati. We'll move to the third with no score. Digging in, Bob Feller, as we are all set to begin the third inning in this one.
Bob Feller.
First pitch on its way. There's a strike at the knees. 0-1. Indians pitcher at the plate with a 1-1 count. Two balls and a strike.
Well, these are just extra pitches that are just going to add to your pitch count. He's not trying to work around him, and no reason to, but sometimes you just lose the strike zone for no apparent reason.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Is a fastball taken high for a ball.
Well, that sets up a big pitch right here, Matt, because you don't want to lose the leadoff guy in a scoreless game. It's tough to work around the leadoff walk.
This is skied into the air to straightaway center. Griffey waits on it. 1 out.
The left fielder, number 7, Kenny Lofton.
So it's back to the top of the order now, and stepping in as the left fielder, Kenny Lofton. Third baseman in tight, protecting the bunt. The first pitch, and a ball. 1-0.
That's a really tough pitch to do anything with. The backdoor slider just off the plate, just missing the strike zone. That's nearly an unhittable pitch to hit for a hitter.
Now a bunt attempt here, and he'll make the quick basket catch behind the plate, so the bunt attempt doesn't pan out.
Number 6, shortstop, Mike.
Digging in to try it again, Mike Freeman. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. Didn't quite catch the zone there. Ball 1. Well off the plate with the change of pace. That's ball 2. Skied into straightaway right. On the move is Puig. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. Down in order go the Tribe. Home half of the third coming up. No score. Stepping up now, Eugenio Suarez, as we move on to the bottom of inning number 3.
Eugenio Suarez.
He's ready. Here's the first offering.
That's a
Ball 1.
Ball 1, no strike.
Ball 2 now.
No strike.
Well, that's a good pitch, but you have to get a little bit closer to the plate than that. That's that big sweeping slider. If it was a little closer, you might get a swing.
Two-0 count. The pitch. A swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. Doby racing back to the track. This one's down. It's the first hit for the Reds, and it's going to be for extra bases. And he will coast into second with a leadoff double.
So with your pitcher do it next, you can either have him bunt, or you can even think about having him show bunt to draw the corners in and then let him swing away. Depends on how much confidence they have in him with a bat in his hands.
Next to hit will be the pitcher, Luis Castillo, and he'll hit with a chance to push across the game's first run.
Yeah, great RBI opportunity here, but at the very least, he needs to find a way to advance that runner to third. Small things like that in a tight game can make a big difference.
Bunt attempt is popped into foul ground. Suarez leads off second with nobody out. And they'll try to get the man to third as he puts this one down. And you can't ask for much more out of a pitcher than that. The sacrifice works to perfection.
Well, when you're trying to move a guy up to third with a bunt, that's exactly how you want to do it. Make the third baseman field the ball. That way his only play is to first. That was very well executed.
Into the box, Barry Larkin. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball one. He was a strikeout victim in his first try. Hit hard to the right, but foul. The 1-1. Now here's a swing and a high pop-up drifting into shallow right field. Kipnis is right there to handle it, and there are two gone now.
Now batting, left fielder, Jesse.
Ready now for Cincinnati,
Winker.
Jesse Winker. So far 0 for 1 with a flyout. First delivery to him on the way. A big roundhouse curveball in there for strike one. And great extension as he drives this one high in the air and deep the other way. And that one is gone. It's a two-run shot to straightaway left, and it's given Cincinnati a 2-0 lead.
Everybody loves to get on a good piece of cheese, hit a fastball out of the yard. But I tell you what, to be able to stay back and take a curveball deep, it's one of those special feelings when you can recognize and react, keep your hand back and drive it out of the yard.
Standing in career, Morgan has swung his way to just over 2,500 career hits. Wouldn't be surprised to see another one here.
Yeah, and he finds himself with that number right there, reaching that milestone yesterday. He's well on his way to 3,000. But to be honest with you, there's only about 100 ball players that have ever gotten to the number he's currently at.
So now the Reds cleanup hitter, Ken Griffey Jr., runner in scoring position with two gone. First pitch on its way.
Count 1-0.
Now a curveball that misses here to the cleanup man. It's 1-0. Two out here and a runner at second. And it's a ball and a strike to Ken Griffey Jr. Feller pauses. Here's the 1-1. Changes up on him, but that's in the dirt for a ball. Well behind that fastball. It's a swinging strike.
A lot of times you see guys in the middle of the order get worked away, but not right here. They're keeping it inside on him.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt, but he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
The 2-2 fouled off. The 2-2 one more time. And he'll hang in here as he reaches to foul this one away. Another 2-2 offering. Hit out towards second. And that is through into center field, a base hit. And the run will score from second here as this is now a 3-0 game.
Hey, you know, Dero, a lot of the top pitchers, when you're going to get to them, you want to get to them early. This is a big lead, 3-0 early against a very good pitcher like this guy.
Yeah, they have to feel good about this one, Dan. Going to have to find a way to slowly tack on runs. But if you would have told this offense they'd have 3 early, they would have took it.
Stepping in now, Tony Perez, as he'll get caught chasing a bad one there at strike 1. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at bat. The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss, and he's in control. 0-2.
So he goes back to back with the same pitch and got him to chase it both times. He's clearly not picking up that pitch very well.
So he was confident doubling up. Does he triple up on it?
It's always tough to go back to back to back. It's not a good idea to show a good hitter the same pitch 3 times in a row.
A ball and 2 strikes to Perez.
I have no issue wasting a pitch on 0-2 to try to get a guy to go fishing, but it has to be somewhat tempting. You're not going to get anyone to swing at a bat at that pitch.
Here's the 1-2. And that misses 2-2.
You know, guys, these hitters have had some great looks at that slider so far, and clearly they're all on the same page. The plan is simple. Lay off that slider and make him bring up something straight in the strike zone.
And he strikes him out here, so he's able to stop the bleeding a bit as the side is retired. But they strike for 3 in the inning. 2 on this 2-run home run. We played 3 full. It's now 3-0 Cincinnati. Striding in once again, Larry Doby reached base via the walk in his first plate appearance.
Hey, we're still in the early stages in this one. They're only down by a couple of runs, but it's really key for this leadoff guy to try to get on and get a big inning started.
No balls and a strike to count. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Hit hard to short. Picked up by Larkin. Throw to first in time. 1 gone here in the 4th.
Now batting, third baseman, Jose Ramirez.
Digging in the switch hitter, Jose Ramirez. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Now here's the pitch. Good way to start it on the outside corner for strike 1.
He's been doing a nice job out there on the mound, but the deeper you get into the game, the more the hitters have seen you. This is the part of the lineup that he has to be really careful with.
The windup and the 0-1. Not close with the off-speed pitch taken for a ball. Ready with the 1-1 pitch. A good action on the 2-seamer there, and it's 1-2.
I mean, the obvious key right now is the movement on his 2-seamer. He's able to spot it up in when he has to, and he's able to go backdoor.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors to this point for the Indians.
Now a fastball awfully close, but he doesn't get the call. It's 2-2 now.
I like that they went away with that pitch right there. They really tried to tie him up on that previous pitch, so he was probably what we call inside conscious. He didn't get a strike there, but I'm guessing he was looking for another ball in.
This pitch is popped up. Suarez is in his tracks now, and there's the second out of the inning.
the right fielder, number 8.
So we saw the fastball there as he got the pop out, and that'll segue right into our pitch speed comparison for these two starters. And fellas, if we do games together for the next decade, we might never see two starters in the same game throwing that hard. I mean, this has really been something. Here's Carlos Gonzalez. And Dan, it seems like this starter is just dominating the game right now. Feels like we're seeing a lot of 3-up, 3-down innings.
No doubt about that, Matt. Hey, I've enjoyed watching him go about his business, but I'm also interested to see if this offense can figure out a way to get a couple of cracks in his armor before it gets too late.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 home. He pulls this one into right. Puig is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Indians go down 1-2-3. They trail it here 3-0. In now, Johnny Bench. He was a strikeout victim in his first try.
Yeah, he's got to put that one behind him, especially with runners in scoring position. Those punch outs will stick with you a little longer.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. And this pitch misses to the Reds catcher. Now 2-1.
That's back-to-back breaking balls away, but now he's got himself into a little bit of a tough spot. You probably can't throw that again, so your opponent is probably up there just looking for a fastball that he can drill.
Hard on the ground towards short. Freeman fields it cleanly. And that's out number 1.
The batter, the right fielder, Yasiel Puig.
Stepping up to the plate, Yasiel Puig comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Bottom part of the zone. A good changeup gets the call.
I guess the game plan from the offensive standpoint today coming into this one was they were going to work the counts. They've been super patient at the plate in the early goings of this game, and they've got the lead looking for more.
Now a swing and a ball popped in the air back behind short. Freeman takes charge out there, and he stays with it for the second out.
Up next for Cincinnati, the third baseman, Eugenio.
So bases are empty here with 2 gone, and into the batter's box next, a guy who's developed into one of the big-time power hitters in the league, Eugenio Suarez. Way late on the fastball for strike 1.
Yeah, Matty, he's very late on that first pitch. I got to think he was guessing off speed.
3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors in the game for Cincinnati thus far.
Might have been cheating for another fastball, trying to get the head to that one early. Pitcher pulled the string with a nasty breaking ball and had him a little bit out in front.
Now a ball pulled hard but fouled off to the left.
When you have 2 strikes on you as a hitter, if you get something that you can handle, you have to find a way to do some damage with it. That was a missed opportunity.
Good job of holding up on the low ball there, and it's 1-2. And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2.
Pretty standard curve in the dirt, looking for a strikeout there, but that was a good job of recognizing it and holding back at the plate.
Still 2-2.
Can't imagine he comes back with a third breaking ball. That hitter looked like he timed that one up pretty well and just missed it, fouling it away.
Feller gets the sign. Here he comes on 2-2. Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning. 1-2-3 go the Reds. They lead it 3-0. Back alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as Carlos Santana settles in to lead off the inning. Here comes the first pitch. Check swing grounder to the right side. And they will not get him at first as he's able to leg out the throw.
The batter.
You know what we call that? We call that clean living. To get a knock on a check swing does not happen often. This guy obviously had some good karma coming his way.
And is the second baseman, Jason Kipnis. First pitch on its way. First offering to him stays upstairs. It's a ball and no strikes. Santana aboard here at first with nobody out. And this one gets away. And forget about the double play now as he'll move up to second here on the wild pitch. The 1-1 pitch. Slider clocked in the mid-80s there. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. The 2-2. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Moving under it, Winker. He's got it 1 away. And the runner, not tagging, will retreat to second base.
Up next for Cleveland, the catcher, Kevin Plawecki.
1 man out now in the Cleveland 5th. And in to hit next, it'll be the catcher, Kevin Plawecki. First delivery to him on the way. Here's a cold strike about thigh high. 0-1.
Hey, it's not always about filling up the strike zone all the time every inning. He's pitching well as we're moving into the middle innings, but interestingly, less than 50% of his first pitches have been for strikes.
Behind 0-2 now.
Not looking good after being down 0-2. I think at the very least you got to work this pitcher's count a little bit. Try and get back into a decent count where maybe you can come through.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Now a ball lined to the left side.
But no one gets to this one as it lands in the home bullpen. A foul ball.
Set to deliver on 0-2. Here it comes. Fouled away. 1 out and a runner on second base. And a check swing. Did he go around? No, says the first base umpire. It's ball 1. Now a fastball, but that's easy to lay off, and it's back to even at 2-2. Here's one that misses inside, and the count's run full now. 3-2. Three-two pitch. is swung on and missed, strike 3.
The pitcher, number 19.
Now to the plate, the pitcher, Bob Feller, flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. From the stretch, here's the pitch. And he gets him to lift one high in the air and drifting out to shallow center. Larkin has got it, and the side is retired. One left for the Tribe. They trail in this one 3-0. So here now's the pitcher, Luis Castillo, as we move past the halfway point in this one and begin the bottom of the 5th.
Castillo.
And they start him out away with a cold strike. Pulled the fastball down a little too much there. That's ball 1. Hit the target, but this is low. 2-1. He's fallen behind now. 3-1.
It's amazing, I tell you. This guy's been absolutely cruising. The pitcher comes to the plate. You're thinking it's an easy out. You lose focus, let your guard down for a second. And now he's got a 3-ball count.
And that can't find the zone either. It's ball 4, and on just 5 pitches, he's walked the pitcher leading off the inning.
And this is exactly what you want to do when you're trying to put a start away. Make him work his tail off, throw a lot of pitches, and get on base any way that you can. A big inning at this point of the game, and he's probably gone.
Here's the first pitch to him. Off the plate and away there. 1 ball, no strikes. A couple of righties starting to loosen now in the bullpen. A runner at first with no outs here. Off-speed pitch, just missed inside.
Now this is the kind of count this guy feeds on at the plate. You can bet he's geared to hit the fastball right here.
The 2-0 down low, and the plot thickens here. 3-0. He's set. Here's the 3-0, and that's in there. 3-1.
Now that's a really curious pitch selection. 3-0 and turned to the slider. You have to wonder if maybe he's lost the feel for his fastball.
The 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and that's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Looked like he swung at ball 4 right there. Clearly he saw something in that pitch that he liked out of the pitcher's hand, but that wasn't a pitch he was going to do a whole lot with.
Looking to punch him out again. The pitch line to the right side, and that finds the outfield grass for a base hit. And they've really got something going here. Runners at second and third to start the inning.
Wow, he almost blew that fastball by him, but he showed some quick hands to catch up to it and drive it down the opposite line. Didn't keep it fair by much, but he did, and that's a nice 2-bagger.
Now here comes the Cleveland skipper up out of the dugout on his way to the mound, and it would appear he's seen enough of his starter this afternoon. So he'll depart after working just 4+ innings, as this will not go down as a quality start, that's for sure. Blyleven is given the ball here to try to work out of a tough situation. 2 runners in scoring position to deal with. In now, Jesse Winker, as he'll look at a breaking ball that misses for ball one. A hit in 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. The 1-0 is looked at for the first strike. Breaking ball snaps in there for a called strike 2.
I know he stole a strike right there, but he better be careful with that curveball. That's coming across and catching a lot of plate. And if he stays back, he's going to drive that thing with some serious authority.
Breaking ball there is down. Good job of laying off. It's back to 2-2.
He's got him on the ropes at 2-2, but I don't think he'll try to get him out with another curveball. He's seen it already a couple of times, so it's not going to surprise him anymore.
Now a curveball misses inside.
With the meat of the order due up next, you can probably expect to see something you can handle here with the full count as the 2-hole hitter.
Now the 3-2 pitch gets him looking up around the letters.
The batter, number 8, second baseman.
Standing in, Joe Morgan. He doubled earlier in the game, 1 for 2 to this point. And it looks as though the decision makers in the dugout will give him a free pass to first, so the bases are loaded here on the intentional walk, and the force play is now in order.
Well, they felt it was better to take the bat out of the hands of a guy like that. He's just too dangerous, and they decided they'll take their chances with the next guy in the lineup.
From the belt, the pitch.
Nope.
Fastball too high to start him out here, 1-0.
This is the tough guy right here to hit into a double play. He's fast and he swings from the left side, so out of the box he's going to get a good break. You might have to try to get the strikeout right here, because very rarely are you going to get this guy to ground into a double play.
To second for 1. The relay on to first. The double play, and the side is retired. Boy, oh boy. Just what the doctor ordered. He gets the double play to get him out of the inning. More baseball on the show right after this. So the Indians lineup flips over, and to the plate, Kenny Lofton. And Dan, he and his fellow top of the order hitters haven't really offered much help for this lineup so far.
No, your 1, 2, 3 guys are the ones you look to generate a lot of action, and they just haven't been up to the task so far in this one. Still time for them to turn it around, though. We'll see if it happens.
Here's the first pitch to him. Strike 1 to start the at-bat. That's over, but low. It's a ball and a strike. Two and one now to the Tribe's leadoff man. Down the left field line and deep. And that will end up a foul ball. Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Lifted in the air out towards left center. Winker arranged to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the first out.
The batter, number 6, shortstop Mike Freeman.
In now for Cleveland, Mike Freeman. First pitch on its way. Now a fastball on the inside corner, and he takes a look at strike 1. The windup and the 0-1. There's the fastball that gets the lower part of the zone, called for a strike.
This guy's pitching really well in this one so far. You could just see he's awful confident attacking the strike zone, and when he comes off the mound at the end of the inning, looks like he stepped in a big old bucket of sassy.
Fastball swung on and grounded out towards second. Morgan right there in time to first, and there are 2 away.
Not a lot you can do with that pitch. That fastball just ate him up inside and gets the soft grounder for the out.
Digging in once again, Larry Doby. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. First pitch hack in here, and that's the first strike.
What a well-executed pitch right there. Just a little bit off the corner right there. Got a great hitter to go a little bit outside his zone.
2 out, nobody on. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball.
You know, he's one of their guys they rely on to get their offense going. They need a rally, so we'll see if he can spark one here.
The 1-1 is laid off for ball 2. 2-1 pitch is a fastball swung on and missed. 2-2. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. He's ready with the 2-2 pitch. And there's a fastball well off the plate inside.
3-2 counts are usually a time to challenge the hitter, but I think he'll be careful here. Shoot for the corner, and if you miss and you walk him, so what? That's better than him putting one in the seats.
Now the payoff pitch home. Line drive to center field. Griffey Jr. will get there, and he puts it away to retire the side. Down in order go the Tribe. Still down 3-0. Ready for another chance. Tony Perez. He'll get things started here in the second half of the 6th.
The first baseman, Tony.
First delivery to him on the way. A ball and no strikes. And he misses again. 2-0.
We've seen him go down on strikes more than once in this game, so this has been a better approach by him at this at bat. Much more patient, and he's gotten himself into a good hitter's count.
3-0 now. Johnny Bench is on deck. That one's in there. 3-1.
That's a real good job of going back-to-back fastballs right there. Most of the time, a hitter will see a fastball in the inside half of the plate, and they'll just think, well, this pitcher's going to go back on the outside. But when you double up like he did right there, it sends a message to the hitter that you're not afraid to throw in that inner half of the plate.
Three-two pitch. To short, hit hard. Scooped up on the backhand. And there's one down now.
The catcher, number 5, Johnny Bench.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Johnny Bench. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. First pitch of the at-bat. Called a strike on the outer half. 0-1.
To me, getting ahead 0-1, it's the most important pitch in the game, Matty. It puts the hitter on the defensive. I can only think of myself being in the batter's box. When I'm sitting 1-0, I am all over the gas, or I am allowed the opportunity to sit on something without fearing going 1-1. When you're down 0-1, your head's on a swivel.
Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. The 1-2. Just hung in there on that one. Bases are empty, one man out. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Swung on in the dirt for the third strike. Plawecki gathers, and he makes the throw to first. Bench is retired. 2 down now.
The right fielder, number 66.
So striding forward now, Yasiel Puig. No hits and 2 trips to the plate for him in the ballgame. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Now a fastball a bit too low here. It's ball 1. On a line, that's a base hit.
Pitcher went to the well one too many times. Back-to-back fastballs. Hitter was able to keep his hands through, deliver a nice line drive.
Into the box now, Eugenio Suarez. In there, now the throw. Not in time as he steals second.
That's a great call from the dugout to put the runner in motion that time. With 2 outs and a good hitter at the plate, it's a pretty low-risk play. If he's out, you still got the same good hitter leading off the next inning. But if he's safe, he's in scoring position and a lot easier to drive in.
And now indication from the dugout that they'll issue the free pass, and with the pitcher on deck, that'll force their hand here with 2 gone.
No pitcher.
Now at the plate, Luis Castillo. It was a walk in his last trip. First offering on its way. Timing just to tick off there as this one's fouled off to the right. Puig over at second. Suarez on at first with 2 down. Fly ball out toward left center field. And he will get there as he had to cover a lot of ground to make that play, and that ends the inning. Reds strand a couple, but they're on top by a count of 3-0. Back here at Crosley Field in Cincinnati. Reds leading this one as we start the 7th. And before we commence, let's take a look at the game summary to this point. Stepping into the box, Jose Ramirez. He's 0 for 2 thus far in this one.
I mean, what a diamond in the rough Jose Ramirez has been for Terry Francona and the Cleveland Indians. This guy burst on the scene in 2016, just absolutely set that lineup on fire. They were looking for a guy to bail out Michael Brantley and the production they would miss from him in the lineup, and Jose Ramirez filled that admirably.
Hit in the air down the right field line. Puig is after it, but this will land untouched. A swing and a shot hit down the corner. Nearly a big fly to start the inning. Instead, a foul ball. The next 0-2. Pulled toward right center field. Giving chase is Junior. He makes the catch. A great effort to get there and record the first out of the inning.
The right fielder, number 8, Carlos.
1 out now for the Indians in their 7th. And standing in, the right fielder Carlos Gonzalez. Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch. And a high strike to begin the at-bat. It's 0-1. One out, nobody on. And he fouls this one off. Swinging a soft liner. And a step on first for the out. 3 unassisted.
Now batting, the first baseman, Carlos Santana.
Here's Carlos Santana now. First pitch of the at-bat on its way. First pitch fastball off the plate there, and it's ball one. And now the Reds are going to get the bullpen moving here, and it's a lefty and a right-hander up and throwing. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Swing and a miss as he ramps up on the fastball. 1-1.
I'll tell you, we're in the later stages of this ball game, but his fastball is still coming out of his hand with plenty on it.
Ready to deal. Here's the 1-1. Hit down the line at first, but a foul ball. 1-2 the count now. 2 out, nobody on. And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Well, he's having a good amount of success here, Dan, even though he hasn't really gotten a ton of swings and misses.
Yeah, it amazes me how every game you pitch can be so different, Matt. Sometimes it feels like guys can't touch you and you're just punching everyone out. But other times you don't have your good stuff and you really rely on movement and location to get outs. That's been the case for him today, and it's really working.
The 2-2 one more time. And that's low, so a good eye there as he works the count back full. Next pitch will be number 100 for him now through 6 2/3. Neither guy giving in. Here's the next one. Popped him up. Bench has a play. No trouble with this one, and the inning is over. Indians go down 1-2-3. They trail it here 3-0. Stepping in, Barry Larkin. He'll try to follow up the double in his last at-bat with another big hit right here.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit last time up. Looked for it up in the zone and didn't miss it. Those are the pitches you only get maybe once in AB, maybe once a game, maybe once a week. So he certainly capitalized on it last time. Hey, they weren't going to keep this guy down for long. That's the ebbs and flows of a baseball season. Bottom line is this guy has bat to ball skills. You knew he was going to get hot eventually.
Jesse Winker will stride in, but first we take you back to the third as you take another look here at his 2-run homer that had him rolling early on. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Curveball inside corner, drops in for a strike. Some stirring now in the Cleveland bullpen. They'll get both a left-hander and a right-hander up and throwing. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Breaking pitch, and this bounces in front of the catcher. Larkin on at first. Nobody out. Here's a look over to first, but the runner's back easily. And it's fouled away.
Classic change of speeds right there. Threw the hitter's timing off. Got a late foul ball. Interested to see where he goes now.
Fouled off. The 1-2. Another one sent foul. Nobody out, runner on first. And he lays off it to even the count 2-2. Not close with the off-speed pitch taken for a ball. And he can only battle for so long as he's finally set down here after an 8-pitch at-bat.
Now batting, second baseman, Joe.
Now at the plate, Joe Morgan. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. Here comes the first pitch. And a fastball's off the plate away. It's ball 1.
This is the situation where there's a lot of pressure on the infielders if the ball's put in play on the ground. Both the guy at first and at the plate are burners, so a double play is going to be tough. Even getting one out could be a challenge.
Here it comes, 1-0. Pitch outside. The throw is not in time. Pretty close, but he got in there safely.
You might say that that steal is on the catcher because the pitcher was so quick to the plate with his delivery, but I think the credit has to go to the base runner. Great jump, and he really showed off his speed there.
Now the 2-0 is laid off, but in there for strike 1.
Hey, you get 2-0, your eyes light up, but you're sitting in one spot, and he obviously didn't get it right there. But he still finds himself in a 2-1 count, ready to do some damage.
Oh, not an easy pitch to lay off of, but he did somehow, and he's got it to 3-1.
You can bet he's salivating a little in the box right now. He likes to drive in runs, and he's got a great situation and count to do that right here.
And a fastball swung on and hit to second. Taken in by Kipnis, and there are 2 away now.
Now batting, the center fielder, Ken.
Next will be the cleanup hitter, Ken Griffey Jr. He was a double play victim last time around.
Yeah, rolling into a 2-ball will eat at you for the rest of the game at least, so you know he wants to make up for it right here.
And a good fastball there, but this just misses the zone for ball 1.
With the runner on third, 2 outs, base open, and a good hitter at the plate, you have to be smart and not give in. If you walk this guy, so what? It's a lot worse if you give him a ball that he can hurt you on.
Red center fielder in front with a 2-0 count.
Well, 2-0 now, and this is where he makes his money. If he gets a pitch to hack at, you can bet he's not going to hold back.
Down low, and the plot thickens here. 3-0.
If you're at the plate right now, you have to realize who's on deck. I guarantee you something's over the heart of the plate. You have to be aggressive in the zone right here.
He's set. Here's the 3-0. There's ball 4.
It was obvious when the count ran to 2-0 that they were not going to give this guy anything to hit. Sometimes you have to pick your battles, and they're going to try their luck with the next hitter.
Ready for another shot now. Tony Perez. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1. 1-0.
I'll tell you, it's a helpless feeling for a manager or a pitching coach when your pitchers are having a really hard time throwing strikes. What are you supposed to do other than keep trying new guys until someone starts attacking the zone?
Lined into right field, and it's going to get down. A base hit. In to score is the runner from third. That makes it a 4-0 ball game.
Hey, that's what you try and do as an offense. You get a 4-run lead. They're a grand slam ahead, Dan, but you're a former closer warming up. When you see a 3-run lead and then your offense gets it to 4 and you know that save situation's gone out the window, don't tell me that didn't hurt you.
Oh, it does hurt you. Oh, it does, because, Dero, the only way you're going to get into this game is it has to be a save situation. You sit and watch 8 innings of baseball, you get up to warm up in the 9th, and you're all ready to go thinking, hey, I'm going to come in and get me a 3-out save, and all of a sudden you're out of the game because it's a 4-run lead. Of course you think about it as a reliever.
2 down, runners at first and second. Breaking ball below the zone. That's ball one. Popped up. Santana over to his left. He makes the play, and that'll end the inning. It's a run on 2 hits here for Cincinnati. We'll look ahead to inning number 8 now. The Reds lead it 4-0. Striding in for the Indians, Jason Kipnis. We're in the 8th now, and nothing's changed out there on the mound.
Well, I've been very impressed with how this starter's going about his business, Matt. He's looked really sharp, and it's hard to know if it's had any effect. But getting that early lead from his offense could have really helped settle him in. Well, he's thrown a lot of pitches in this one, but it's not like he's walking a bunch of guys. Only 1 free pass to this point, but they're still making him work really hard.
That evens it up 1-1. The 1-1 is a slider that misses below the zone. Now some action out in the bullpen as a lefty and a right-hander begin throwing. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
If you're ever going to see a position player go to the mound, it's going to be in a situation like this. Get him to relax a little bit, focus on his mechanics, and get that fastball back in the zone. Can't allow this guy to lead off walk.
On a good changeup, a swing and a miss, and he's set down on strikes for the 2nd time today. Well, these fans have been treated to a fine outing out of their hometown starter as we give you a look at the numbers here. A big 0 in the run column on the right-hand side of your screen. And here's the catcher, Kevin Plawecki. And his dominance continues on the mound, but it seems like he might be running on adrenaline only at this point.
Yeah, he's been so great in this one. You want to see him finish what he started, but you also have to start worrying about things like injuries. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this one, and some guys are just more capable of that than others, but not a lot of good things tend to happen when you've worked as hard as he has in this one.
Now batting, the pitcher.
Hey, after starting a game 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs, that single had to feel good right there. Nice piece of hit.
Red skipper up out of the dugout and making that slow trek to the mound. And we're going to have a pitching change, as that's going to be all for his starter this afternoon. So he was able to only get that first out in the 8th, but nonetheless he'll depart with the lead. Amir Garrett enters to make an appearance on the mound as he inherits a runner at first with 1 out in the inning.
Amir Garrett.
Tyler Naquin will be summoned off the bench here as he'll pinch hit with a runner at first and 1 gone in the inning. A bouncer up the middle, a dive, and he knocks it down. And the recovery throw is too late, and there are 2 on with 1 away now.
Well, nice effort by the shortstop right there. Kept it in front of him. That's all he could do right there, Dan.
You know, dealer in a spot like that, that's an infield single. That's a tough play. Just to knock that ball down was a pretty good job. But any way you look at it, that should be scored a base hit, and I'm sure it was.
Into the box, Kenny Lofton. Popped straight up. And no one will track it down. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. He's set. Here's the 0-1. And this misses the outside corner, so it's knotted up at 1-1. And they'll go off speed here as this pitch misses. It's 2-1.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be aggressive. You can pretty much count on a pitcher. He's trying to get back in the strike zone. And with 2 guys on base right here, it's time to grip it and rip it.
3-1.
Well, tying run on deck. He should get something really good to hit right here in a 3-1 count. I'd be sitting on a fastball middle in.
And it's up to a 3-2 full count now. Plawecki on second. Naquin is over at first with one away. Now this is on the ground at first. We'll see if they can get two. There's one, but they won't get two as he beats the relay to first.
Now batting, the shortstop.
Ready once again, Mike Freeman. And Dan, this could be a real make or break situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, Matt, at least scoring one run in this inning is so important to them to possibly get back into this thing. Baseball doesn't have a clock, but you only have 27 outs to work with. They're running out of those pretty quick.
Here's the first pitch to him. This is line to left. Winker is there, and he puts this one away for the third out. So a great job there of working out of potential trouble. Cincinnati bullpen does its job. Home half of the eighth, straight ahead. Mike Clevenger is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the eighth.
Number 53, Mike Clevenger.
Digging in and looking for more, Yasiel Puig. It was a single for him in his last at-bat. First delivery to him on the way. Changed up on him and dropped it in for a called strike. In there, and he's ahead 0-2 now.
Hey, that's obviously the game plan against this guy. Bury it in on his hands. He finds himself down 0-2 now. He doesn't know if he's coming back in there or going breaking stuff down and away.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Really fooled him that time for the first out.
This is the kind of at bat where your hitting coach grabs you on the way back to the dugout to have a little chat about your approach. Not a lot of positives to draw from that at bat when you take 2 strikes and then you chase one out of the zone to go down on only 3 pitches.
Stepping in now, Eugenio Suarez. As he takes a cold strike at the knees, it's 0-1. A hit in 2 tries for him so far. The windup and the 0-1. Behind 0-2 now. A swing and a miss. He offered it a ball way outside the strike zone for out number 2.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
Joey Votto will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher. Line towards center field. And this is going to find some real estate out there as he comes through off the bench with extra bases. And he'll coast into second here with a 2-out double.
Check out the lefty as he absolutely jumps on that first pitch and hammers it to right. Got what he was looking for and put a good swing on it.
In now, Barry Larkin, as he'll take one up in the zone, but indeed in the strike zone for the first strike. 2 hits in 4 attempts to this point. Oh, 0-2 to Larkin.
He certainly hasn't been the aggressor in this at bat. 2 straight takes, so now we'll see if he can change his approach and battle up.
The 0-2 home. Slow roller down the third baseline. And nothing will come of the 2-out double as the inning is over. Danger averted following the 2-out double. The 3 of us are back after this message and a word from our local stations. Michael Lorenzen comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the ninth. Striding in, Larry Doby. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. He's ready. Here's the first offering. Ninth inning begins as the first pitch is taken for ball 1.
And now a right-hander's begun to loosen up in the Cincinnati bullpen.
And here's a fastball that's nowhere near the zone. It's 2-0 now.
I'm seeing him just a little too amped up out there right now. That's common with hard throwers like him. Running a blazing fastball up there is great, but if you can't harness it, what good does it do you?
The 2-0. Catches the inside corner for a strike. High in the air down the right field line. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. Here now the 2-2. Gets him swinging. He struck him out. There's the look at the final line for the Reds starter. Great day's work any way you look at it.
Really strong outing, Matty V. Into the 8th inning without allowing a run. In line for the win, and he certainly deserves a good fate in this one. Hard to imagine he could pitch any better innings 1 through 8 than he did in this one.
First offering on its way. Outside target here, and he hits it for strike 1. Head-to-head numbers against Michael Lorenzen. He's 1 for 3. Good take there to lay off the high fastball. One ball and 2 strikes to count. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Fouled away. Now another 1-2. Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue.
Hey, he's got 4 foul balls in this AB right here. He's really making this pitcher grind for everything.
And he strikes him out as well. So make it back-to-back punch-outs here to the first 2 men he faces out of the bullpen.
Talk about blowing it by a guy. Geez, I mean, that fastball was way behind him when the swing came through the zone. I have to think he was looking for something off speed, and he just couldn't pull the trigger on that fastball.
Standing in now, Carlos Gonzalez. As the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Down the first baseline, but a foul ball, 1-1. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Breaks his bat as this one's popped up. And this will not be caught. It's a foul ball. And now a crowd reported at over 28,000 rise to their feet. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
Hey, it always feels good to win a baseball game, but when you can win one at home in front of your home crowd, all those fans cheering, this is a good win for this team.
4-0 the score this afternoon. Cincinnati led this game from the third inning on and never wavered. Luis Castillo is credited with the win. Bob Feller was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
The final line score for our ball game this afternoon: for the victorious Cincinnati Reds, 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. They left 10 men on base. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 39 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.